on, everybody? Welcome to episode 66 of our Watford career mode, and today, the FA Cup final. If you haven't seen last episode, go check that out. We were trying to get a miracle going, see if we could find our way into the Champions League in the final couple of games, but we just fell short. Ended in 5th, which is Europa League, which would be the benefit of winning this tournament, but we're looking for the Champions League and the Europa League final next time round. But today, just a live comm, so we're going to do this whole game for you. You'll be able to see front to back how these games go, and then next episode we'll do our regular stuff with the Lazio game, and then we'll go ahead and do an end of season kind of thing as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. I do like to do these in finals, mainly because there's a lot of emotion, of course, trying to win a final. And then, of course, you know, I'd like to get these live comms out there. They're a little bit more, they're a little bit fun here on FIFA, and you guys don't obviously always get the whole, you know, the whole thing when we go ahead and just do the, you know, the cut versions. Of course, it gives us time, or it gives us the ability to get 3 games into a single episode. But live comms, if we're only doing the one episode, why not give it all to you and make sure the videos aren't just the 5 minutes long? That would be a bit annoying. But we are off on the final, so let's jump into it. Fulham found their way into the FA Cup final. Fulham and Watford, a big opportunity here for silverwear, and you would have to feel that we are favorites, as De La Feu's turned and done really well there. He's holding on to it, finds Grealish. Lose the ball there, not what we want to do, but Grealish has done well to nick it back. What can we do here? Hernandez, you find Grealish, he can, who turns, tried to get that one extra touch out wide and then have a hit at goal. Didn't work out. So normally when I'm playing these kinds of games in a scenario like this, not at the moment here as they come forward and try and find a goal, but when it's kind of in that midfield, I take that opportunity to transition and see if I can go ahead and, you know, get my breath back and things like that. Make sure I'm not coughing or doing anything like that. But in this scenario, it's going to be a little bit less quiet, and you're going to be able to see a little bit more out of me, and I hope you guys enjoy these. If you don't enjoy these particular live comms, just let me know, but I think a decent amount of you enjoy them. I think they're relatively fun. But forward we go. Can we have a run at this Fulham defense? And that's what I'd like to see there. Good movement, and finally De La Feu is sprinted out wide here. Can we slip it back? We can, and Grealish is in on goal, and he's finished it. And early on here, we've taken the lead. Jack Grealish, what a signing he's been. 15 minutes gone, he gives us the lead at Wembley in the FA Cup final. And the man with the headband has put us in a lovely position early on here. A bit stagnant to start this game, but we do break with a bit of pace, a bit of menace. We are very, very good in open field, and it shows right there. Hernandez just steps on the way, just gets by his foot there. Didn't quite nick it, and it finds its way into the back of the net, just inside the post, and it is 1-0 here on 16 minutes. It's a very good start from us, and the start as favorites that you kind of want to win, or you kind of want to get to. You obviously want to win the thing, especially if you're favorite, and you kind of in this position where you know you are capable. The thing with being a favorite is probably the disappointment is a little bit more, as we're in on goal here, and it's Grealish again, and I have messed that up completely, but I've slipped it back. Hernandez is 2. What has gone on there? I took one too many touches. Grealish, though, with a brilliant back heel. And what a start. 2-0. Watford fans going crazy here in the final. Of course, an FA Cup that, you know, they got to the final recently enough for City to kind of come along and run wild, but I believe that was the FA Cup final. I believe it was the FA Cup and not the Carabao Cup. I'm pretty positive it was the FA Cup, if I remember properly. Should be the FA Cup, but, you know, Grealish slips it back. Hernandez, 20 minutes, it's 2-0, 2 quick goals. And as we were saying, we are so devastating in space. And while that didn't exactly go to plan the way that move turned out, we'll definitely take it as we have found our way into the back of the net. We give it right away, not where we want to give the ball away. We got to clear it, and we do. And here's Sarr. And he has the ability to run at defenses as well. And Sarr, if he can beat a man, he can. He can slip it through. And Hernandez is in on goal here. Hernandez, one too many touches. Not this time. It's 3. And we are rushing away from Fulham here. 25 minutes gone. And you feel the party can already start. Once again, counter-attacking football. And that's a lovely little finish there. I thought once again I took one too many steps. Oh, it just gets by his leg, and he clips it into the back of the net. Hernandez, his second of the day already. 26 minutes. It's 3-0. And Fulham falling by the wayside here. It's the way they're currently set up. As you see, we move forward here. But if we nick it in a position just like that, we're just leaving their back four very much exposed as they bring the ball forward, and that is not what you want to be doing. As that gets clipped back post, he gets the header on. Oh, I thought that found the back of the net. Hits the side netting. Very, very close. You don't want to let them back into it. You don't want the nerves to settle or start to settle in. We got the early goals. The nerves are a little bit settled, you would think. And we were speaking earlier, before I got cut off by that second goal, about the idea that it's a little bit more disappointment when you're favorite and you don't win than you are if you come in, say, Fulham, I would think, in this scenario. Or they come in very much underdogs. And if they don't win, you know, it's one of those things. But for us, to not win this would be dangerous, as Hernandez is in on goal. And that touch was just a little bit heavy. I wanted to shoot before that, but that time the touch was just a little bit heavy. As that gets cleared. 10 minutes to go till halftime. You feel Fulham are trying to find themselves a little bit of hope. We've taken that ball away here, slipped it into Grealish. And Grealish, can he slip it across? He can. And oh, wow. That's really well defended. Emre Can. Oh, it's a good block as well. Can we get to that? Not quite, as it falls around in the box. And Fulham escape once again. Every time we go forward, we are very much dangerous. It's Platza here. Oh, come on, I got the ball. I just tried to slip in front of the ball there with Decore. I don't get yellow cards very often at all. Grabbed a yellow card there for Decore. As that ball gets clipped in on the corner, and ooh, he gets a touch onto it. And heads it just over the bar. A couple of decent enough opportunities here for Fulham, but we've obviously had better opportunities, and we've also been much more clinical. At this level, in terms of difficulty, defenders, ooh, wow, what a save. Defenders, or the teams we're playing against, not defenders, teams we're playing against tend to be a little bit more clinical than they are currently, and the big teams are very, very clinical. As we saw against Everton, they had their 3 shots and all 3 went in. That's why when the games kind of end in terms of like they've only had 2 or 3 shots, it's not that huge of a deal to me, because as we thought we got behind him, it's not that huge of a deal to me, and it may look like it's very one-sided, but they only need the one chance with the way things are set up to go ahead and grab those goals. So, I'm not too worried about that in particular. See, we have 7 shots to 2 there, but a lot of the time those bigger clubs, and a lot of times the smaller clubs normally, really take those opportunities. So it's not as far-fetched as we saw. And we saw it the other day with Everton, or the last video, on the final day there. Everton had 3 opportunities. They were barely opportunities as well. As we go for goal, put it straight at Bettinelli. They had their 3 opportunities that were barely opportunities and scored all 3. So it kind of it's different each time. Decore, Hernandez slips it to Decore. Decore goes for goal, and oh, it's just over the bar. I thought that found the corner for a moment. Not quite. But Fulham are getting to a point now where they need to go ahead and grab a goal sooner rather than later, at least just to put doubt in the back of my mind. But we also have that game against, as it pops up, we have that Europa League game coming, and you feel that in a final, that if we can rest people, we might as well. That game is on a Wednesday. Oh my god, I forgot he was on a yellow card. I almost brought him down. That's a good step inside. Decent enough football, and ooh, it's a good save there by Rui. Fulham almost grabbed one back, but they're going to have to start taking these chances if they want to step this up a little bit as that header comes in and it's straight at Rui. Decent enough opportunities. Not the greatest, of course. A very tough angle, that first shot originally. But look at Ismail Yassar. His pace. Can he get it away? He can get away from the defender there, and he cuts back inside. And it slips it forward. Hernandez is 4, and that's it. That's game over there. Fulham had their couple of opportunities to pull one back. Haven't. And Hernandez grabs his FA Cup final hat-trick, and that's all down to Ismail Yassar. His pace is unbelievable. It's a great ball across. He holds off his man, fires it into the back of the net, and it's 4-0 on the hour mark, and that should do it. And now I'm going to have to, what I should do is make a couple of changes. Make sure everybody's fit and ready to go. We're going to bring Moise Keane on. Kent. One of the midfielders, De La Feu. De La Feu. I want the front three ready. I think the rest are really interchangeable considering how well we've gotten our depth rolling. Even the front three are technically interchangeable, but the front three have just a touch more quality. Ismail Yassar, I need to play. De La Feu, I need to have playing. And Hernandez, of course, is really good. He's probably interchangeable, but at the moment he's just in an incredible form, so I'm not going to change anything too wildly as Barco's in on goal here. And Barco, wow, he got caught up there. Was going to take one more touch and have a shot, but he did eventually get caught up. 61 minutes. Poor Fulham. It must be difficult to come out and kind of watch your team get battered a little bit, especially in a game like this. I don't know what that's like, though. I mean, Watford fans, I imagine, know what that's like. We were talking about the City game. It cannot be a good feeling. I don't want to keep bringing it up. I really should stop bringing it up. It's not that I'm having a go at it, but this kind of applies to what we're doing at this very second in time. As that ball comes in and goes flying out of play. A lot of pace on that. It's a good ball if the players got into those spaces. But yeah, I've been to 2 Liverpool games. None of them have meant anything because I live in America and I haven't gone to England to see them or anything. So we've just seen preseason games, friendlies and stuff. As Grealish is in on goal. Thought that came back to him. Poor effort, really, from Grealish. But I've seen just the preseason games. We haven't won any of them. We lost 2-1 to Roma and 2-1 to Sevilla. Most recently, the Sevilla one. And while they're friendlies, you know, I'd like to see them win once or twice. That would be nice, as the football here is just brilliant, isn't it? And Grealish is in on goal. Wow, he's floated that, Jack. That's a really, really good opportunity. Jesus. Comes over the top here. Can we get the header on? Not quite. And this has kind of turned into that friendly-ish atmosphere as we've sealed this game up. Williams on it here, though. Maybe Fulham can get back into it a little bit. As that ball comes in, we do really well to get a touch onto it. Clip forward now, and here's Grealish. Get it out to Barco. Barco's fresh. We know what fresh Barco means for opposing defenses. As Barco, we're going to let him run onto that, see if he can chase it. Almost got to it, too. Incredible pace. And that is why he will not go anywhere. He is the X factor off the bench for as long as we're here. Difficult to find player like him. It's just pure pace. Fulham now trying to work their way forward. That's dreadful, isn't it? Oh, I saw Moise Keane there. I was hoping to get that to him. He was already through. But we're on 10 minutes here. And the result, of course, definitely not in doubt at this moment in time. We're cruising toward an FA Cup. So we're going to grab ourselves a little bit of silverware this season, and hopefully not the first bit of silverware that we're looking for this year, as that's a really good block and cleared. If we can win the Europa League, we should get a Champions League spot. I pray to God that the game has it that way, because I mention it all the time, and I know that FIFA doesn't have everything exactly how it's supposed to be, but I assume that we get a Champions League spot for going ahead and grabbing a Europa League win. We'll probably have to I'm not sure if we'll have to qualify for the group stage or not, but we should really grab that spot, and that's what the aim was this year. But this tournament, oh wow. What? Are you kidding me? Moise Keane, what in the world? Tried to hit that with power, low and away. What in the world is that? Here's Moise Keane. Can he slip it in? Can we grab one more? Grealish with a really good touch. He gets around, slips it across, and there's the 5th. Brilliantly done from Jack Grealish with 30 seconds to go. A bit of icing on the cake. A 5-0 victory here at Wembley. A dominant performance. And we are going to grab ourselves a bit of silverware. Who is going to lift it? I believe it's Decore. It should be Decore. We'll put the controller down for a little bit. And it is Decore. Decore is going to lift it. He is the captain. And a good captain at that. And a natural replacement to Troy Deeney, who's still at the club. We're definitely not getting rid of Troy. But a natural replacement for Troy Deeney as captain should Decore continue to stick at Watford, which I think he will. Myself, but we'll see as they're jumping around. Fans are going wild. It's something else. See your team win a bit of silverware. They're all lining up now. Militao in front. We haven't mentioned Militao a lot this year, or since we bought him in January, but he is one heck of a defender. Very versatile too. We can play him really in a variety of spots. But here comes Decore now. The FA Cup. A bit of yellow on it. Maybe not that greenish color. It should be yellowish, but there it is. Trophy up and lifted. Watford FA Cup winners. And here at Wembley, they celebrate. Referees there. And there are the fans bouncing around. The Fulham fans are still here. I'm not sure they would stick around in huge numbers like that. As you can see, the stadium's still full on their end, but here it is. What scenes as we win ourselves a trophy. In a minute, we'll skip through. That's what we want to see. A little bit of bouncing around. We'll see if they do the run and slide thing. I think they do. It's Decore. We're going to lift it again. There we go. That's what we like to see, Decore. And the fireworks go off. And I guess that is that. And it. Oh, never mind. Picture. Picture taken. We'll end it after the picture. As everybody sets up. FA Cup champions, Watford Football Club. And the picture's getting ready. And the picture comes. Lovely stuff. A huge victory. A bit of silverware. We were dominant, really. They had a couple chances of Fulham. They could have grabbed a couple. But going forward, they could not deal with our pace. And it was just too much for them as we win the FA Cup. Lovely stuff, everybody. A bit of silverware added to the cabinet. Now, next episode, what we have coming our way, as we win the FA Cup, of course, bit of a news item. But what we have coming our way, Europa League final. A victory there will give us Champions League football, and of course another piece of silverware, which we want. But the Champions League football is the important thing. That was our goal this year. We fell one place short in the league, but we still have an opportunity through the Europa League to get it. So I hope you guys, of course, have enjoyed the episode. Stay tuned for more. In peace.